Several WWE wrestlers have thrived after leaving the company, finding success in other promotions
and MMA, even Hollywood. Number 10, Jeff Hardy. When he left the WWE for the second time in 2009, most fans were pretty disappointed. He had won the WWE Championship a year before in 2008 at the Armageddon event, but sadly, multiple injuries and wellness policy issues really held him back for most of 2009. Jeff then made a surprise return to TNA Wrestling in 2010, and for the first time being back in the company since 2006, it was a big deal. He was a top star, a multi-time world champion, and even had more artistic and creative freedom in TNA, debuting a more heel character with the Immortal faction. He even teamed up with his brother Matt Hardy to reform the Hardy Boys and worked on the independent level in promotions like Ring of Honor. Before he and his brother returned to WWE in 2017, his feud with the Young Bucks and ROH helped create buzz for the independent wrestling scene and Ring of Honor as a whole. Number 9, Gail Kim. She is the name when you talk about people leaping from WWE to TNA and finding some real success. Although she won the WWE Women's Championship in her debut match in 2002, she wasn't booked favorably beyond that. Eventually, Gail Kim left the company in 2004, joined TNA in 2005. Kim was the inaugural TNA Knockouts champion, winning the title in 2007 when the division was officially launched, and she's heavily credited with really putting it on the map. Her victory solidified her as the foundation of the women's division and gave her a strong start. She consistently delivered high-quality athletic matches that really drew in viewers, raising the standard of women's wrestling overall when WWE was often limiting women to shorter, less serious matches. Kim returned to WWE in 2008, but left again in 2011, citing creative differences. TNA welcomed her back with open arms, where she went on to become a 7-time Knockouts champion. Her achievements within the company earned her a spot in the TNA Hall of Fame in 2016. Number 8, Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona. Since leaving WWE in 2020, Ryder, or Cardona, has gone on to become one of the most sought-after wrestlers not under a long-term contract in North America on the independent circuit. Cardona has gradually gone under a massive change, completely his own style, with his own merch, a very successful podcast, popping up everywhere there's a big independent show, and help putting the bloody hardcore wrestling style of Game Changer Wrestling on the map with his monikers like the Deathmatch King and the Indie God. His post-WWE journey has marked numerous championship wins across various promotions, including GCW, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. He's actively engaged with fans through his merchandise sales and social medias, further solidifying his brand. His efforts didn't go unnoticed. He was recognized as the Independent Wrestler of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated in both 2022 and 2023. As of 2024, he's indicated a desire to transition back to major televised wrestling, feeling he's accomplished what he could on the independent scene. Who knows? Maybe we can see him in WWE, rejoining with his wife, Chelsea Green. Number 7, Sasha Banks, otherwise known as Mercedes Moné. She walked out of WWE along with Naomi in controversial fashion in 2022. The Legit Boss stated she did not like how she was being used on the WWE show and obviously cited creative differences. Since then, Mercedes has gone on to become one of the top female stars in all elite wrestling, signing a lucrative deal with Tony Khan's promotion in 2023. After making her AEW debut in 2024, Mercedes quickly became the AEW TBS champion and is still the current reigning champion. Since then, she's also won titles for Japanese promotions like New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom. As a result, Moné holds the distinction of being the first and only women's wrestler to win the titles in WWE, AEW, and New Japan. Other than that, Moné has also stated that she is open to more movie and television roles. Yeah, she was in a big show on Disney Plus, and is certainly someone who we could see signing another deal with AEW due to the company's relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery. Number 6, Hulk Hogan. Brother. Hulk Hogan is arguably one of the most popular pro wrestlers of all time, putting the entire genre of entertainment on the map for a lot of people. But obviously, in recent years, he's maybe one of the more divisive figures in pro wrestling. The Hulkster has left and rejoined WWE on multiple occasions and is a WWE Hall of Famer, yeah, for a lot of reasons. However, Hulk Hogan first left WWE in 1993 after his contract expired, and nobody at the time expected him to join rival promotion WCW the next year. But Hogan did just that in 1994 and immediately became a headliner for the company. Hogan initially portrayed his real American red and yellow character in WCW, but everything changed in 1996. Hogan shocked the world by turning on Randy Savage and forming the NWO with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. The NWO went on to become one of the most successful blockbuster factions in all of professional wrestling and really helped WCW get the advantage over WWE in the ratings for 83 weeks head-to-head in the Monday Night TV Wrestling Wars. Number 5, Mandy Rose. When she was released by WWE in December of 2022, many fans were just surprised. A day prior, she lost the NXT Women's Championship to Roxanne Perez. The company was reportedly not pleased with her not safe for work content that Rose was posting on her direct-to-fans fan time account. However, it still puzzled most fans as Mandy had become one of the top stars in WWE NXT in her second run and was the leader of the popular faction Toxic Attraction. Fortunately for Rose, she was able to rake in millions of dollars with her fan time Prime account, reportedly earning over $1 million. Yeah, Later, Mandy revealed with the Power Alphas podcast that fans spent an astonishing $55,000 on her subscription. That's a single fan. So it looks like Mandy Rose won't be returning to the ring anytime soon, as long as she's making that type of money. Number 4, Chris Jericho. Jericho left WWE in 2018, but this time it was different than his previous exit, where he always had projects and pursuits outside of pro wrestling, with his band Fozzy, writing books, and doing podcasts and radio shows. After this time, though, it was different. He signed with Tony Khan's well-financed wrestling promotion, All Elite Wrestling. And in AEW, Jericho reinvented himself in various incarnations, like Le Champion, The Wizard, and The Painmaker. He would help put All Elite Wrestling on the map as its first AEW World Champion, and continued to be a multi-platform star with podcasting, music, and more. Number 3, Dean Ambrose, or rather Jon Moxley. Dean Ambrose is pretty much dead, and it was killed off when Moxley leapt from WWE to AEW, yes, returning to his original in-ring name, debuting at AEW's Double or Nothing. Since then, he has reinvented himself as a more intense, violent, and unpredictable character, the purveyor of violence. But beyond that, he's been the guy for AEW, a multi-time champion, a locker room leader, an ambassador of its own definitive in-ring style, and has helped guide the company through challenging times in the pandemic and following the controversial exit of CM Punk. Other than AEW, Moxley has also won titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling and GCW. He also wrote his own memoir, Mox, which became a national bestseller within a short amount of time. Number 2, Brock Lesnar. Nobody imagined that Brock Lesnar, the next big thing at the time in WWE, would leave the company in 2004 after being such a dominating presence in such a short amount of time. However, it was Lesnar, who was physically and mentally spent with WWE, who wanted to pursue other things, including wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, trying out for the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL, but unfortunately a freak accident derailed those plans, and Lesnar found himself choosing the path of MMA and becoming a massive star once again with the UFC. Even though Lesnar experienced a rocky start after suffering a submission loss in his first UFC bout to Frank Mir, he persevered. The Beast Incarnate's perseverance also paid off when he was able to become a UFC heavyweight champion, defeating the legendary Randy Couture. He even got the win back over Frank Mir via a TKO victory. According to a report from Front Office Sports, Lesnar was even financially well off, as he would rake in more than $5 million during his time in the UFC. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes had a name in WWE, the son of the American Dream, but he chose a different path, leaving the WWE in 2016 after his character at the time, Stardust, simply wasn't going to get out of the mid-card. It took some time for him to regain his footing, but slowly but surely, Rhodes created a new brand and a new moniker for himself in the American Nightmare, wrestling around the world on the independent circuit, becoming a huge superstar with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and his work would pay off with the launch of All Elite Wrestling, which he was a part of the founding group with. Eventually, he would leave the company, though, and rejoin WWE, and eventually becoming WWE Champion, defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 in a highly successful main event.